Hello there, Cancer, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Mary Sue, and I'm so grateful that you're here. So today we're doing your weekly tarot reading. This is good for November 15th through the 21st. So we'll take a look at the overall energy with the oracle cards, and then we'll move to the tarot for more details. And if you're enjoying the content that I create, I would really appreciate it if you would consider like, sharing, or subscribing. Okay, let's get into your reading, and first check out the overall energies for the week. Oh my goodness. This is so interesting. Why is on the bottom? Okay, so there is a big change coming up. Something is coming in to change your thinking on something, to change something within a relationship. I have a sense that you've been asking yourself for a while, why is this almost stuck in this type of energy? And now that we're in Scorpio season, there is a lot of shifting of energies. And the thing that I'm getting with this change in the wind is that it's almost like a breath of fresh air for you, because you've been kind of deep in thought about what to do about this situation. The situation has not been very balanced. You may have been giving more to the situation, or you may just feel like there's nothing going on in this situation, right? And it's about bringing it into balance. There could be some karma being played out here, but there is a chance for some type of regeneration, reunion, reconciliation, but it can also be a sense of you just getting a second chance at something that you've really wanted, that may have passed you by, a job, a house, a city you want to move to, a relationship you really wish, you still had or had taken advantage of when it was there. Something here is you're getting a second chance for. I also think it's kind of interesting because this is very similar, I think, to either today's or yesterday's daily tarot reading. Very similar. So I don't think that's coincidental. In fact, I already did that daily reading. So I'm almost kind of wondering if it wasn't really meant for you, Cancer. This idea of getting a second chance at something. I'm also being told, you are a water sign, and so is Scorpio, and we're in Scorpio season. I feel like you may have some situation with another water sign, especially maybe a Scorpio, and that during this Scorpio season, there is some type of change in the wind. It's something is, it's divine is coming in to try to mix things up, because here we have mending and then we have happy, happy. This situation that you're in, then we have TikTok, divine timing, and underneath that, 10 of Cups. I really get the sense that this is something, it could be a relationship that has been, you may have been in separation for a long time. It does not have to be a romantic relationship. It could be a friendship. It could be a work colleague. It could be a family member. It's as if that this situation has held you back from really progressing to where you want it to be, or the same with the other person that's involved. And now that we're in Scorpio season, and it's a season of kind of like looking deep within us, it's almost as if the universe is saying, Cancer, it's time to heal and mend this situation. So let's go ahead and take a look at your present energy, strength. You have the strength and the courage to do this. Sometimes when we don't want to have a difficult conversation with someone, even if we feel like we're in the right and they're in the wrong, and there's no right or wrong, right? But if we feel as if somebody was unjust to us, right? Then, the thing is that sometimes it takes a lot of courage to even have that conversation. Even if you feel like all the facts are on your side, right? It's sometimes still hard to stand up for yourself in this situation. And also the other thing is that, you may feel like you don't know all the facts. You may not know this person's point of view. And sometimes we want to shield ourselves from that because we're not really sure, what are they thinking? I don't understand, especially if you haven't talked in a long time, So let's go ahead and take a look at your area of resistance or your obstacle. Page of Pentacles. A tangible offer, a tangible conversation, something that helps and a page, is just the beginning. It's the beginning of something that can grow into something that's long-term. Really, I'm getting, a rather kind of sad and yet hopeful energy. The regeneration card is, it's the Phoenix rising from the ashes card. But it's not like a happy card. When you think about a phoenix rising from the ashes, it is kind of this sense of, jubilation, like, wow, I overcame something, right? But it's, it's almost a sense of there's been a lot of lost time. Why did we spend so much time not talking? Why did we spend so much time not working on the situation? Okay, so let's see what the advice is. 8 of Cups. You know that this situation is part of your spiritual path. And so it's also part of figuring out. It's like, that Scorpio season, going deep, figuring out how this plays out in your whole, spiritual path, judgment. There's some type of big decision, reconciliation on and the Wheel of Fortune. This is so interesting because that daily reading, daily tarot reading, this was the outcome, the Wheel of Fortune. And I've been shuffling here, right? It's about that when you put the love into the situation, when you heal this, when you try to see the other person's perspective, right? Realizing that, that there is more than one perspective in every single situation. I get a sense that the other person, you're hurt, but I think the other person is hurt too. And that is what needs to come into balance, is that both of you are feeling hurt in this situation. So let's see what the strength is. What do you need? Yeah, you need strength to work on this. For some of you, if you feel like this is a career type of reading, it's about, reviving a career, a job, a business that you may have started. Having the strength to do that. It's... I had an uncle once, and he started his own business, and it did not go well. And I remember my aunt always talking about, we're paying for a dead horse, like the business was gone and they were still paying for it. And that I know was really, I remember I was just like a teen at the time, and I just remember that there was just a lot of heartache there. There was a lot of financial loss. I think my uncle was, mentally, distraught about the whole thing, about the financial situation that he had put the family in and all of that. And, it took a lot of strength. He had to come back from that, Phoenix rising from the ashes. It took a lot of strength. And sometimes you have to give yourself the time to go ahead and grieve that something didn't work out the way it was supposed to, or you wanted it to, I should say, and that's okay. Okay, it didn't work out. I'm going to take a little time to lick my wounds, and now I have the strength to get back to work, to put this situation, to build a new career, build a new business, build a new relationship. If you've come out of a very difficult relationship, say you got divorced or something like that, okay, I have to get to work. I do have the strength to get back to work after a very difficult situation. Okay, yes, here's your obstacle or area of resistance. This is so much like that daily reading. I'm sorry I keep saying that, but please go watch it. I'll put a link to it in the description box, because it's about putting love into the situation, not getting caught up in the fear of the situation. There's only fear in love, and so it's about putting your love into the situation and not being afraid that this person is going to react in a certain way, or your next business is going to fail. It's kind of like giving yourself a fresh start and coming from the perspective of love, putting your heart into this situation and not being up in your head concerned about the outcome. And then the 8 of Cups. Yeah, so, knowing that you are a leader on your spiritual path, that the way that you handle this situation, the way that you regenerate yourself or this, relationship or career, whatever it is, however it's resonating for you, it's about you are being a spiritual leader by doing this. People are watching you. They're actually watching and learning. I'm going to add that. They're watching and learning. This is part of, the judgment card can also talk about awakenings, spiritual awakenings. It can also talk about being called to do a spiritual business or following your spiritual journey. It's part of this regeneration is understanding that this situation on your path was part of your spiritual path, and that the way that you're handling yourself is putting you in the eyes of people that kind of almost like, I don't want to say need, people that are learning how to handle themselves better, about how to come from a point of love rather than a point of fear. And they're watching you. Really, a sense of that, you probably don't even know that people are watching you. And I don't want to, it's not like stalker watch. They're watching you out of curiosity about how you handle this situation. Especially if some of you, this is a business situation and your business, say you're the owner of the business or a, executive or leader in the business, and the business has, come on hard times. The way that you handle yourself during all of that is helping other people to continue to stay inspired and, not, fly away, be full of fear. Okay, so let's see. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Page of Wands on the bottom. Somewhat of a fresh start. So we have the Lover's card. This is also Gemini energy. So you could be dealing with a Gemini. It's about a big choice that you have had to make. But this is, a true soulmate connection that you are trying to regenerate. that you are trying to bring back together in some way. And it does not mean that you actually have to reconcile. Like if this is, a romantic connection, you're like, no, I don't want that person, back in my life. It's about just bringing the energy of this relationship into balance, maybe having a conversation with this person or something like that. There was some betrayal, there was some sneaky action in this, but now you have a different perspective of it because this was part of your soul's journey. You now realize that the person that you're dealing with may have snuck away in the middle of the night, may have betrayed you, may have kept secrets, all of that. But now you have a different perspective. We usually walk around with our heads up and our feet down. And you've had some time. You've gone on a spiritual journey here. And now you can look at it from a different perspective. Perhaps even the perspective of the person that you're dealing with, but definitely a different perspective. And you can perhaps see why they were holding secrets or betrayed you or something like that. Like perhaps they were holding secrets because they have abandonment issues and they were afraid if they gave you that information that you might get mad and leave, right? Or they could be, somebody that has issues with emotional intimacy. And when the relationship was getting more and more, intimate, not just physically, but emotionally and mentally, spiritually intimate, then what happened was they self-sabotaged the situation. You're understanding that people are not, I think the thing I'm getting here is that you're understanding, you've come to a point in your spiritual journey where you understand that people are not just doing things to other people, right? This person didn't hurt you to hurt you specifically. They do it because there's some type of fear. They do it because it's a reflection of who they are more than a reflection of who you are. So you're coming at it from a different point of view because you're not just in this, well, but they did this to me energy, right? You're getting some clarity here. It's interesting that that's there. You're getting some clarity on the situation from a spiritual point of view. And by doing that, you can come to the situation this time with love. Whereas before you may have overreacted. Well, that was before you grew spiritually. Now you understand that person was not necessarily holding secrets or, stabbing you in the back or, even at a work situation, right? They weren't doing that because they were doing it to hurt you specifically. They were doing it because they were trying to, on some level, they were coming from fear. They were doing it coming from fear and trying to survive. Their ego was trying to survive or to protect them. They weren't doing it from the heart. They were doing it from the ego. Okay, so let's see what we have here. The edge of evolution feels messy. The good kind. I am not sure. I think this was in that daily tarot too. Yeah, the edge of evolution feels messy because you are evolving. You're evolving. And so this situation may have even been a trigger for you to go on your spiritual journey. And, all of that is messy. Now you may be down your path here and you can understand that why people, react or do the things that they do, from a different perspective, from a spiritual perspective. And nourish the sacred feminine. See, that is that Queen of Cups coming from a point of love rather than a point of fear. Changing your perspective about not just this situation, but probably in like all your relationships or situations, you've gotten a different perspective. You understand at a much deeper level why people sometimes do the things that they do. And then creator air, you have this, you have this concept, you've gained this information through experience, right? And now it's like you're a spiritual leader and you don't even know it. It's just that people are, I don't want to say idolizing, but they're looking at you as a mentor. They're trying to become more like you. And your words, I want you to know, your words about this situation mean a lot to the people that you're talking to. And the people that you're talking to are actually talking to other people. Like you think you're just a little stone, right? But you are causing a lot of ripples in the water. You are a spiritual leader just through your actions and the words that you say, just in your everyday life. Wow, Cancer, quite a deep reading here. I'm going to leave it there. I wish you much love and light in this situation and all your situations. And if you have resonated with the message or enjoyed it, I would really appreciate it if you would consider like, sharing, or subscribing. And I'll make sure to put that link to the other video or on the end screen for that daily tarot reading that's very similar to this. So there might be another message there for you. And I hope to see you again really soon. Love and light to you. Bye for now.